I'd be like, hey, eyes up here, eyes up here. I know I'd look great with implants.
So I've been doing stand-up for 21 weeks now. This set was brand new material. Some of it hit, some of it tanked. Let's watch.
Don't be host, everyone.
Yeah!
Nice. I've been waiting 25 years to smile like this, you guys. Give it up for me. Some of you guys are worried. You're like, is this another terrible Joe, Traveler Joe set again? I don't know. But I had terrible teeth growing up. And picture this, I'm 8 years old. I had 2 crooked buck teeth, 2 missing adult teeth on either side. And then I had just fangs right in the front. So I looked like a hillbilly vampire.
Sexy.
Want to suck your blood, cousin? Barbecue. I don't know. My teeth were terrible. They were so bad that even a British crystal meth addict suggested the dentist. He was like, seriously, there's one right around the corner, mate. And I went to the dentist, and I had so much dental work done, I swear, they could have suggested anything, and I would have went with it. They could have been like, you need a cow tongue transplant. What? Yeah, you salivate too much, by like several millimeters. And I would have been like, yeah, I was wondering about that. Can you do anything about my swallow? I think I need a giraffe uvula. But the dentists, they loved me. They saw my mouth as a gold mine. See, dentists stared at my mouth the same way that dudes stare at cleavage. I'd be like, hey, eyes up here, eyes up here. I know I'd look great with implants. But implants were expensive. In total, $17,000. No insurance for the full process. So my dad blessed me with the cheaper alternative, glue. He was like, well, he already sniffs glue. We can feed him some. And it's true, I had fake teeth glued on for years, to the point where it's one of my most embarrassing stories. This older couple at a party recognized me, and I didn't recognize them. So I played along. They were like, hey, Josh. And I was like, hey, you? In mid-sentence, one of my teeth fell out of my mouth. And they're shocked. I become a babbling idiot. You know, I'm like, hey, Josh, you know, I'm gonna borrow the implants.
Oh my god.
And then I popped it back in and walked away. So I'm pretty sure that couple now believes in aliens. And they're like, yeah, it was the weirdest thing. First his translator broke, then he reassembled himself, and then we heard crying in the bathroom. I think he phoned home. I think he...
Better than I remember.
Yeah, but after that I had to get implants. So I saved up enough money that by the time I turned 18, I finally had enough to hit the casino. Yeah, I didn't have 17,000, but I had 2,000 at a prayer on a blackjack miracle. So when that didn't work out, I got a real job, saved up, and dentists suddenly started treating me like the Bachelor. You know, they were like, hey, just wanted to introduce myself. I'm very excited for my trip to Cancun. I mean, to work with you. And they were devastated, the ones that were rejected. I kid you guys not, there was one that was so sad. I actually thought he was gonna hurt himself. Not in like a major way, but in like a minor dental way. You know, I'm pretty sure when everyone left the office that day, he bit down on the sharp razor block and then took an x-ray without the lead blanket. All right, keep it going for your host, Alex.
Ended a little bit on a flatter note than I was hoping for. Okay, so how do I rate this bit? I give this one maybe a 4, 5 out of 10. I think it's a really strong premise, just making fun about my terrible teeth. But more jokes failed than worked here. I had some really strong jokes up front, like the hillbilly vampire, the British crystal meth addict recommending the dentist. Those were good self-deprecating jokes. And then the best joke for sure was the dentist staring at my mouth like a straight dude does cleavage. That hit really well.
I know I'd look great with implants.
The rest of the bit needs some work. The story had some good beats in there, but the other ones had more crickets than laughter.
The giraffe uvula.
What did I learn this week? This week, it was a new bit, so I just learned the self-deprecating stuff worked really well for me. I'm gonna have to lean more into that. And then, as for the others, I think I just had some confusing setups, misdirects that didn't translate for the audience how I intended. So I'm gonna do a new segment this week, and we're gonna do one called Fix the Bit. I'm gonna show you guys my jokes and then how I rewrote them based on the feedback I got at this mic. Excuse me. This joke right here about going along with whatever the dentist suggested. I think it's a really good idea, but it didn't hit very well. More crickets.
The giraffe uvula.
But it didn't really make sense, right? Why would I need a cow tongue? Don't cows drool more? It seems like the opposite of that is true. So that was my analysis here. It just appeared that the audience was more confused. So here's my rewrite. Before the implants, I had to get braces, bone grafting, and a new mouth. Boom, rule of 3, extra joke right there. They could have suggested a tongue transplant, and I would have gone with it. Your giraffe tongue is a hazard for the implant operation. We're gonna have to switch it with a guinea pig's. So, I really like this rewrite. It shortens it, and it has an extra laugh up at the top with a new mouth. And I think the logic makes more sense. I actually may add a visual gag here and show them how long my tongue is. Like, check this out. You guys know the little Snapple facts? One of those said that you could not touch your tongue to your elbow. I proved them wrong. Sent them a picture. Let's see if I still got it. Oh! Cramp. Okay. I've aged too much. I used to be able to, I swear. So, yeah, I might actually add that visual gag in to buy the audience more into this joke. So boom, that's one. Let's try the last joke, which kind of ended with more of a whimper.
Alright.
This was a tough one because I'm trying to do like a tasteful self-harm joke here. The idea of a dentist hurting himself by taking an x-ray without the lead blanket is funny to me. And I just think I didn't set it up well here. I talked about him biting down on the sharp plastic block, which is a more harsh image than funny. So I cut that out, and here's what I came up with. I said, when I finally picked a dentist, the others were devastated. One looked so sad, I was worried he'd do something reckless, like take an x-ray without the lead blanket. I made the people who fix smiles frown. Except for the one who got the rose. After his work with me, he took his wife on a second honeymoon. I know because he sent me a postcard. Hope your smile is brighter. Mine is. So, this one I added a lot more personality to, and I still communicated the same idea, but I tried to punch it up on how, you know, now the focus isn't him hurting himself. It's a quick comment, and then it switches to the dentist taking a second honeymoon with all the money he made off of giving me implants. And then him sending me a postcard. Hope your smile is brighter. Mine is. I think this one is gonna work better because it has a lot more personality and it doesn't end on such a sour note. So, I hope this one hits. Sometimes I never know what's gonna work. Anyway, that's gonna do it for week 21 in my journey to become a stand-up comedian in just 1 year. Hey, if you're chasing a dream, you like stand-up, or you just want to see me bomb, you sick freak, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. Toodles!